So wait. I want to understand this. These are two different camera operators, right? I'm probably going off. These are two different camera operators, right? But they are all pointing their cameras at this lady in yellow. Let's look at this. Let's break this down. I'm gonna go back. This is camera A, pointing or shooting from the right side of the room, right? Camera B is also shooting from the left side of the room, but they are all pointing to one person. We need to question the director because he's the one calling the shots. We need to question the director. We need to know what is happening. I'm going to go back. Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Manuel Gray. If you are new here, do follow, like, subscribe, share this content because on this platform, we talk about videos, we talk about filmmaking, we talk about editing, anything in relation to production, we talk about it here. In this video, what we are going to do is that we are going to have a production breakdown. Yes, a production breakdown. And with this production breakdown, we are going to break down films. We are going to break down scenes from music videos, live productions, everything that involves filmmaking or camera or editing. We're going to break down here, right? So follow me as we do that. This is the production breakdown. So Minister Mettle released a new song titled This Year a few weeks ago. And when I went into the comment section on Instagram, I saw a lot of people talking about how quality the video is, how good it was looking. And I was not surprised. But in this video, what we're going to do is that I'm going to break down the video production and anything that I think went into how good the video was looking. So we are going to break it down frame by frame, shot by shot, just to analyze it and see why this video looks that good. Come with me, let's do that. Now, a few things that I've realized already is the way they start the video. Now, one of the most difficult things that you think it's actually easy is the way you want to start any video. Your opening shot and your closing shot is very, very important. That is what to keep people captivated to watch it. And I can see that the way they are starting this shot is they're starting it with a different light mode, right? So you have everything looking red in the room. But we realize that as they progress into the other shots, the lights in the room now become much more white lights in there. Another thing that is also important is a progressive reveal, and that editors will understand this, where you zone in on a few things, you just capture a few more things, and then at the end you show us the bigger picture. So we have the keyboardist doing his thing, we have the trumpeter doing his thing, we started with Bludo with the drums too as well. So you can see other elements coming together, and then they're going to show us the bigger picture, right? So let's continue. Ooh, I don't know if you realize what I saw bad. Wait for it. The person who is in charge of the lights did a very good job, as in the planning was spot on. So you can see that we have spotlight at the back, which spot him the moment he announces the title of the song and just the first line of the music, This Year. And then we have the light, this spotlight, giving him that room to, like, he's the one being the main artist for this, right? Interesting. This is interesting. More things to see. I can also see some art design in there where we have these bulbs rigged from the very top, which is interesting. Some are also down here, bro. Like, art design is also important when it comes to production. So we'll continue.
Testimonies, signs and wonders all around me. I'll be swimming in abundance. I decree and I declare it's over my life. Say, everybody.
The shot that we just saw is a shot that is on a gimbal, for sure. It's a shot that is on a gimbal, right? This very shot. So I believe that they had a camera on a gimbal that pushes in while he's singing. And then the moment he's done, they push back. So it starts with that shot on the gimbal, and then they cut to the next shot, which is a wider shot. It's either this video was shot twice, at least twice, or it was shot just once. But I'm sure that at the end of the video, we'll be able to tell whether this was shot twice or it was just shot once, because this is a different camera. We can say that this is a wide camera, and the other one is a gimbal camera, is a camera on a gimbal, but we'll see along the line. So this is on a gimbal, and then we cut to the next camera. Whenever I'm watching any video production, right, I wait for the wide shot to reveal every secret in the video. So we're going to use this as a point to reveal certain things in the video, but let's continue. I'll show you what I mean by that. You can see that they are playing with a lot of close shots, tight shots, right? They have a lot of people in the studio. This is Reverb Studio, by the way, Mettle Studio. They have a lot of people in the studio, more than 30 people that I can count. But you realize that they have a lot of tight shots on each and every one, like at least each and every one in there. Wait, did I see a slow motion? I wonder why they're using a slow motion in there, but I think it's a style that they are going for. This looks like it was shot on a 24 frames or 30 frames. It doesn't look as smooth as I think it would look if it was shot on a 60 frames. Because look at it. It looks like it's breaking. Yeah, it looks like it's breaking. This camera was probably shooting at a 24 or a 30 frames, and they tried to slow it down. So you can see that the slow motion is not really there as it should, but I think we'll figure it out. This is definitely a gimbal shot. I think the person using the gimbal was still trying to get his balance before they cut to him, because you can see that the camera is shaking. You can see this camera is shaking. The gimbal operator was definitely not ready before they gave him the cut, but more close shots, more tight shots. Yeah, on a gimbal, I believe so. Oh, did you? Okay, let's go back. I told you guys that there was definitely a gimbal in there, right? Look at this guy down here. This guy down here is on a gimbal. I think that is an FS3. Yeah, an FS3. And maybe the lens on it is probably a 16-35 or something within that range. It's a wide frame. It's a wide lens, yeah. So we can see that this person is with a gimbal, right? And he has a transmitter on, he has a headphone on as well. Some people would ask, why is he having a transmitter? Why is he having a receiver on? Knowing very well that they are going to do a post-production, and this is not a live stream. You need this stuff sometimes just so that the director can monitor all the shots that are being covered by each camera. So while we are on set, you can still decide which shots you are going to use. You don't need to sit down to review every shot before you'll be able to tell which shots are good. But then as they are operating, you can tell this person, oh, focus on this, focus on that, focus on that. So the headphone and transmitter receiver is still important in this case. So what I want to do right now is that I want to count the number of camera operators in the room, right? We're going to try to see if we can identify all the camera operators in the room. Now, I count one person over here with a gimbal. This is a FS3. I have another person here. I think this is also a gimbal shot. Yeah, this person is also having a gimbal. So this is one, this is two, this is three. We have one guy here in the very shadows. This is three. This is four. Wait, is he also with a gimbal? So they probably have three people on a gimbal. Oh, that is impressive. That is so great. Yeah. You see, most people compromise a lot on productions like this. You believe you be like, oh, we're gonna use just one gimbal to record everything. No, 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 no. Wow, this is amazing. So we have 3 people on a gimbal. So I counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a 5th person on an easy rig. 5, 6. There is also someone here too. You can spot him, right? You can spot a lens. When I play, yeah, when I play, you'll be able to see that that person is also having a camera back there, right? This. So we counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 people. And then they also have a camera mounted up for the drama. So that is 7. And as I said, I believe that this was shot at least twice. So you can get a lot more coverage. Let's continue. You can, okay, look at the slow motion and look at the other one that I showed you previously. You can see that this is very better. This slow motion is way better than the one I saw before. So if I'm not wrong, this camera operator was shooting at a 60 frames while the other person was shooting at maybe a 24 or a 30 frames. These are my opinions. Right. Okay. That is, oh, this is an FS6. If I am not wrong, this is probably an FS6. This is probably an FS6 with a G Master 70 to 200 lens. Meaning that they are probably going for a whole Sony ecosystem on the cameras. This shot is definitely on a gimbal. On a gimbal, I believe. There is something that I've also noticed. I don't know if you guys got it, but the editor was cutting on a beat. And that is something that most editors use to make shots look so seamless. You are not going to observe the cuts because it's happening on the beat. So in your mind, you don't see the cuts. You just see actions being played out. And when I go back, I'll go back. You realize that it's cutting on the beat. So let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is genius, right? This is nothing new to any editor. This is nothing new to any editor. But if you are able to identify these things, it makes it so breathtaking. That is the point. It's not because this is the very first invention of cutting on a beat. No, that is not the point. The point is that if you are able to identify this and almost fit into the head of the editor, it makes it beautiful. That is the whole point. So we'll continue. Okay, so we can see the gimbal operator almost taking a shot of this. I believe that the next shot that is going to come is going to be this person, if I'm not mistaken. If I was the one cutting, the director cutting the shots or selecting the shots, I'm definitely going to go on this. But let's see. I wasn't wrong. I wasn't wrong because I believe that he had a good shot. So this is him, and then we have his shots. I don't know if you realize the shake in the camera, the drum camera, but it happens all the time because I mean there is so much vibration with the drums, and if you have a camera mounted on a tripod on the drummer, you would experience some vibration. So that is why you see that in this shot, right? Camera operator with a gimbal. I'm sure this is going to be the next take or the next cut, and then cuts to her. Amazing. A lot of slow motion in there. I believe now it's an editor's choice because it has repeated itself over and over again. So definitely this was the editor's way of telling the story. So genius. So we have two people on an easy rig. So this is an easy rig. You know, the easy rig is definitely one of the stabilizers that filmmakers use to have a steady shot, even when you're doing handheld, right? This, as I said, I believe this is a Sony FS6 with a G Master 70-200. This is a heavy, heavy camera. In order to get stabilized shots, if you don't want to put this on a tripod, you want to put it on an easy rig so you can still walk around and get stabilized shots. So we have one person on an easy rig, and we also saw another person on the opposite end on an easy rig too as well. So those are things to keep in mind. We see the gimbal operator. I'm sure that the shot that we just saw, I believe that shot was from him. This is it. Okay, we have the shot there. Now, when you look at the drum camera, right, someone would ask, why is the drum camera zooming in and out? Do we have somebody doing the zoom in and out? It's just, I believe that they just scale that. So definitely, they put that in post-production, if that they are using DaVinci Resolve or they are using Premiere Pro, and then they scale it. So they have a wide shot, they can scale it from, let's say, 100 to a 150 that is going to zoom in, or they do it from 100 to, or they do it at 150 to 100 to zoom out. So that is what you see in here. Okay, you see that? You see it zooms out. Why am I seeing so many shots of this lady in yellow? Okay, let's continue. Now, whenever you are doing music productions or any other production, live productions, you want to make sure that you have enough coverage. And I can see that the camera operators are constantly moving. The camera operators are constantly moving. We just saw this guy with an easy rig standing here all this while from the beginning to this point, which is like 2 minutes 42 seconds in the middle part of it. Now he's moving to a different area. And I'm sure the director was like, okay, let's get much more coverage. So move to another spot and then get some more coverage. So I believe that is why he is moving. Another reason why we have we constantly tell the video operators or the camera operators to be in black is because of these reasons. Look at this. It's difficult for you to identify the camera operators if you're not paying attention because they blend into the space, right? You would not be able to identify them if you don't see this, the lens. He's just hidden right there. This guy is a little hidden. The guy back here, you barely even see him. So that is why it's good to always be in black sometimes. You hide into the shadows. We don't see you. Let's continue.
This year will be full of testimonies, signs and wonders all around me. I'll be swimming in abundance. I decree and I declare this over.
The shots are just so good. Like, you can see the way the camera operators are just moving in, getting like, look at this shot.
Swimming in abundance. I decree and I declare this over my life. Hey, everybody this year.
This camera operator was definitely not ready. If I was the one to edit, I would start the edit a little bit later because we can see he was swinging. You see, he was swinging the camera, but it could also be an effect, but nah. He was swinging the camera and then the cut came in. Amazing shots, right? Playing with a foreground and a background. So we have people in the foreground and then we get the shots through the people in the foreground so we can get the lady either in the middle ground or the background. Amazing. Okay. Oh, another slow motion. This camera operator has placed this camera on this BV for a very long time, but it's I'm just saying what I observed in the video. I'm sure you also observed it, but I hope this is the last time. Did you see? Let's go back. So we have the gimbal operator one more time over here, taking a shot of the keyboardist from the top. So we see that when we go back, you realize that that is the shot, right? So this is a guy with a gimbal from the top, and we see him up there. And we have the second person with a gimbal also. I'm sure that we might as well cut to this lady in a few moments because I believe they have good shots. Definitely. So this is the way it seems whenever I'm watching productions like this. I try to get into the head of the director, into the head of the editor, and then able to see where the cuts are going to happen. So look at what I was talking about. So we have a shot on the gimbal from the top, right? And we have the second person with the gimbal having the audience, having the BVs dancing, right? If I was cutting, definitely I'll cut from this to the main and then to the other gimbal, or from this to the gimbal, and exactly what happened. And then we cut to them. And then back to him again. And then back to the main. Oh. This camera is definitely on a tripod because when I look at the frame, this frame barely moves. So it's definitely a static camera for Minister Joe Mettle. Yeah. This is on a gimbal. So the gimbal operator, the person in the corner is still there. This guy is back here. Okay. The camera, the wide camera is probably on a jib. Yeah, it's probably on a jib, or it's a camera that is mounted at the very top. I don't know where that camera is, but it's probably on a jib, or it's a camera that is mounted from the very top. But look at the way it was angled. It wasn't angled straight this way. It will look boring. In the room, just so that you can occupy space, it looks tilted, and we have this bulbs falling from the ceiling, which is creating a very, very beautiful aesthetics to the whole scene. I love this. Now see this camera operator, he's pointing his camera towards this. So I don't know if we're going to get a shot from this area. Let's see. I don't know if you guys noticed the music director for the very first time. That is when I was noticing him. Nanaya, right? He's going to appear at the very bottom. I'm sure he was directing them that, oh, you guys, we're almost at the end of it. Did you see the photographer running? The photographer was crossing the frame. Look at him. Oh. Do you guys see what I've been talking about? What I've been talking about? Okay. So wait. I want to understand this. These are two different camera operators, right? I'm probably going off. These are two different camera operators, right? But they are all pointing their cameras at this lady in yellow. Let's look at this. Let's break this down. I'm going to go back. This is camera A pointing or shooting from the right side of the room, right? Camera B is also shooting from the left side of the room, but they are all pointing to one person. We need to question the director because he's the one calling the shots. We need to question the director. We need to know what is happening. I'm going to go back.
Every blessing from the Lord. The Bible says,
Let's continue. Yeah, he's trying to get his focus or get his frame. Good stuff. I'm sure the camera operator at this point, he was so tired. He was like, let me rest my camera for a second. Look at him. He has his camera down there, resting on the floor, while this guy is also getting coverage. I cannot find the second gimbal operator. I'm sure he's also taking a break or something. Oh, he's here. He's right here. Okay, let's take a frame back. Let's go. Credits to Timeline Creatives. Timeline Creatives have been with Mettle for a very long time, and Timeline Creatives have been doing incredible. Like, I think they are one of the best in Ghana. They are one of the best. They make visuals look so aesthetically pleasing to watch and with high quality. Now, I think this was definitely shot on a 4K. When you look at the export settings, the quality is at a 4K. So it was exported 4K and then uploaded 4K. This is a lot of data. One other thing that I just realized with what the light person is doing is that we started with a red tone and then the reveal came in and then we had bright lights in the room. As they are going to the very end of it, they are going to dim all the lights, and that is what we can see right now. We can see that the lights are going to dim. Good. And we have Joe Mettle taking the center stage again. Everything is just gone down. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. When you think about the thoughts that go in for a video production, it's so amazing. It's so amazing. And I want to give a shout out to Timeline Creatives for putting this together. This was an amazing shoot. Things that I observed in this video. One, a lot of close-up shots, which is good. I think that is what they were trying to go for because you have a lot of BVs. You want to have enough coverage of them. And another reason why I think this was shot at least twice was because they have a lot of coverage in terms of the close-up. And the roaming cameras that we have over there are 3 roaming cameras, at least the ones that we counted, and 2 other cameras on the side, so 5 cameras. I think that should be enough to get enough tight shots, but I'm still of the opinion that this was shot at least twice. If I'm mistaken, you can correct me, but these are just my opinion. Another thing that I realized was the light person and the set designer, or the person in charge of the art decoration or the art production, was very skilled. They came up with something that was brilliant and good. We can see everything evident in there. Reverb Studios is where everything happened. That is Joe Mettle's studio as well. If you want to see more content like this, you can type in the comment section what video or what music or what film or what video production you would want us to break down. We are going to do this together, you and I. We'll break it down frame by frame and identify what the editor was thinking, what the and we are going to break down what the editor was thinking, what the DP or the director was also thinking, what other members in the camera operator was thinking, right? We are going to go into their heads and then come up with what we think they were thinking and then make arguments based on that. Again, everything we said here were my opinions. I didn't have any interaction with Timeline Creatives to know what was the ideal setup for it, but looking at it from a perspective of a filmmaker and a creative director, I think everything I said here was 100%. Maybe I'm wrong. But let me know in the comment section if you want me to talk about any other video. Share, subscribe, like, and then I'll see you in the next video. Stay Gucci.